Hello, everybody. At this time, we are talking about production capacity. Production capacity is the maximum product output a company can produce using its available resources over a specified amount of time. This metric is important because it informs a manufacturer's critical business decisions in both the near and long term. For instance, if a manufacturing business wants to fulfill a higher quantity of larger orders, the decision makers need to know, and it is very crucial, if the operation can sufficiently meet the increase in demand. Additionally, manufacturers use production capacity to inform labor utilization as well as capital expenditure decisions, including their machines, equipment, and facilities. Therefore, it's important for manufacturers to know their operations production's capacity because it informs both administrative and in-facility decisions, enabling businesses to maximize their production efficiency. And then, what key factors influence production capacity? The first factor, physical assets. The quality and availability of machinery and equipment. Second, operational strategies. Production methodologies like just in time or JIT or lean manufacturing. And then third, human resources. The skills, experience, and number of operational staff. Fourth, raw materials, availability and quality of necessary inputs. And fifth, technological tools, automation, and software that support production. And then we move to strategies to optimize production capacity. To effectively utilize and optimize production capacity, various strategies can be employed. The first, investments in machines and equipment. Purchasing new machines or modernizing existing equipment can increase production capacity. Second, efficient use of resources. Optimal use of available resources such as materials, personnel, and machines leads to better capacity utilization. And then third, flexible working hours and workplace planning. Adjusting working hours and deploying additional labor during peak periods can help avoid bottlenecks. Fourth, process optimization and automation. Introducing automation systems and continuously improving production processes contribute to increasing production capacity. And then we move to benefits of calculating production capacity. The first benefit, precise material orders. Accurate capacity planning enables manufacturers to determine the appropriate quantity of materials to order, minimizing excess inventory or stockouts. By aligning material orders with production requirements, companies can optimize working capital and reduce costs. And then second benefit, easier workforce scheduling. Capacity planning allows manufacturers to determine the necessary workforce to meet production demands. By aligning labor availability with production requirements, companies can prevent labor shortage or overstaffing, leading to improved productivity and employee satisfaction. And then, how to measure production capacity? The first, consider your purpose. The purpose of measuring production capacity may change depending on the number of different products you plan to create. If you want to create many of one type of product, you may want to know how many items you can produce within a certain time frame. Using the formula for one product can help you learn the daily production capacity for your facility. This is especially useful if your factory specializes in one type of item. And then second, determine the machine hour capacity. Before you can calculate the capacity of a single product, determine the machine hour capacity. This capacity level refers to how many hours employees can operate all the machines available to them in your manufacturing unit. Machine hours are the potential amount of time employees can work on a product, and they depend on the number of usable machines and the hours of the workday during which employees can use those machines. And then third, calculate the production capacity for one product. When you have the machine hour capacity, you can calculate the production capacity for one product. Knowing this type of capacity allows you to understand how many of a single type of product your team can produce in a day. The formula for this calculation involves the machine hour capacity and the time to produce one item. And then fourth, figure out the production capacity for multiple products. If you want to calculate the production capacity for multiple types of products, you can use the production capacity for one product formula on each item you want to check. This method gives you the individual capacity for producing each type of item. However, you can also figure out the machine hour capacity. And then we move to significance of production capacity in e-commerce. Data related to production capacity helps businesses make short-term goals and implement long-term changes. Some of the major benefits of keeping a check on the production capacity in e-commerce are: the first, keeping up with market demands. Market demands keep changing seasonally. Therefore, companies can serve their customers better by maintaining a production capacity equivalent to market demands. And then second, saving resources. With production capacity data, businesses can avoid a situation wherein the capacity is much higher than the demand. Since in such situations, resources end up being waste. Keeping a check on production capacity is beneficial. And third, setting goals. Keeping track of the production capacity helps business owners get a clear picture of their manufacturing capabilities. Hence, this information can be used to set realistic goals that can improve the overall supply chain. I think it is enough. Thanks for watching.